what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking about different ways to store stuff on your bike. But if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure that little bell icon next to that is checked off. That way you get notified every time I upload. Third amazing is awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So today we're talking about all sorts of different ways to carry stuff while you're on your bike, and there are all sorts of different ways out there. We're going to talk about a bunch of them. I can guarantee you, there's other ways out there as well. So obviously when you're riding, you're going to want to carry, of course, the basic essentials. You're going to want to carry, a spare tube, tire levers, a CO2 inflator or a pump. You're going to want to carry maybe an extra chain link, a multi-tool, stuff like that, where you'd be able to make a repair on your bike while you're out on the road or out on the trail and not have to call in help every single time. Be able to get yourself out from being stranded. So you're going to need some way, of course, to carry some essentials. Then on top of that, you have the stuff you want to carry ride to ride. So, your snacks, your phone, keys, wallet, whatever you want to carry with you, you're going to need somewhere to put that as well. So there are tons of different options out there for carrying stuff on your bike, and we're going to go right into a bunch of those today. So first we're going to talk about is going to be the good old saddlebag right here. So saddlebag, of course, going to mount right up underneath your saddle, right here on the back. It's a really nice thing to use. I use saddlebags a lot of times to carry those essential things I just want on my bike all the time. So it's gonna be the tube, the multi-tool, your tire levers, CO2 inflator, whatever that may be, that's gonna be in here because this is generally gonna be attached to your bike all the time. You're never gonna take this off. It's just gonna stay there. It's ready to go on a bike ride whenever you're ready. So I like to keep that on here all the time. Now, as you notice, I don't have one on my gravel bike. I have different options here. But if you look at like my Superfly, my road bike, even my wife's bikes, they all have saddlebags on them because it's just a super efficient, super inexpensive option, and it keeps it just out of the way. And you really don't notice it's there until you need the stuff that's in there. So it's a really nice option out there. So obviously, option number one works really good. And that's a downfall if you have a mountain bike with a dropper seat post. It's kind of tough to make this work. It does work in certain cases. I have one on my Superfly and it does work. It's very tight fit though, so you have to watch out for that. Same thing if you have any clearance issues between your saddle and your tire. Sometimes this will be a little bit too close to your tire and it'll rub on the tire. So there are some downfalls to this. So of course this is like a medium large size saddlebag here, so they come really small if you want something smaller. They come larger if you're doing bike packing or something along those lines where you need a larger bag. But a lot of times you see them and they're just a small bag. They're made for those basic essentials. So this works. Are there better options though? There might be. But for most cases, this will work perfectly fine for you. Let's move on to the next option for storage. Next option we're going to talk about is going to be a handlebar bag. So this is my handlebar bag. It's from Reno Walk. Very basic handlebar bag here. So the nice thing about a handlebar bag is it's within your reach very easily. You're riding right up here, so you can reach right over here, unzip it, get your snacks out if you have a snack in there. You can get your phone out if you want to take a picture. Whatever you have, it's in there. It's super easy to get to. That's the biggest thing for handlebag, is just the accessibility of it. You can't reach your saddlebag while you're riding, but reaching for the handlebag, super easy to do versus your saddlebag or something on your frame. So this is the only bike I have a handlebar bag on. This is my first time ever really using a handlebar bag, was on the gravel bike, and the handlebar bag is nice. Up until this point, I had pretty much been carrying my snacks, my phone, my keys, whatever I bring with me, I throw in my jersey pocket on the back of me, and that's how it worked, and that works fine. But having the ability to not have anything in your pockets, throw everything in here and still have it super accessible is really nice. It makes you feel lighter, puts the weight on your bike in a way that you wouldn't really notice it to be on there. And this is a decently sized bag. This is like a 2-liter bag, so it's a pretty decently sized bag. And of course they make bigger and they make smaller, so you have tons of options out there. But for the stuff you'd want ride to ride, so your snacks, your phone, keys, things like that, this works really good just because you can pack it with stuff you need for that specific ride you're going on. You can use this to store like your tube or whatnot too, but for me, I like to keep this for stuff that's going to be pertinent to the ride that I'm doing right then. Nice thing about these guys, of course, you have the nice zipper pocket there, so you can go inside and look in there. This one has a nice little zipper pocket here, so I can put my keys so I don't rattle around all inside of here. My card, my credit card, my ID can go in here. Nice and secure, and then when you're done, you zip it right back up. Another cool thing about this Reno Walk bag, and why I like it, is because it has a strap that you can clip on to these little guys right here, and it'll work as a shoulder bag. So I can throw my camera equipment in here, my GoPros, my batteries, memory cards. I can throw those in here when I'm riding to an event, get to the event, and I can take this guy off before I throw it to the bike valet. So I can take this off, throw it over my shoulder, and I got all the batteries, everything I need for my cameras ready to go. And it keeps it away from me. I don't have to worry about trying to carry it or carry a backpack or anything. This is mounts my bike, pull it off real quick with 2 Velcro straps when I get there, and we're set to go. So this is going to be our handlebar bag. Now, the one problem you might run into with a handlebar bag is clearance. Now this bike doesn't have much cables on the front. They kind of all tuck in behind underneath the handlebar tape and then kind of drop right down. So there's nothing really in the front to get in the way. If you have a mountain bike or even an older style road bike, you might have some cables in the way, so you might have to kind of work around that if you can. If it's too tight like my wife's mountain bike, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work for you. It's just not going to fit. It's not going to work for your storage. So there are some problems there. In my case, this thing fits perfectly on here, and I feel like any gravel bike should be able to work pretty good there. So let's move on to our next option for storage. So we'll continue on talking about ways to store stuff on your frame. Before we get to rack mounted storage at all, we're going to continue talking about stuff mounted on your frame. So first we're going to talk about is going to be the salsa bag right here. So this is the Salsa Anything Bracket Mini with the little bag attached to it. So in my case, on the gravel bike, this is what I use instead of a saddlebag. So this has all my essentials in there. So this has my tube, my tire levers, it has my CO2 cartridges in there, it has an extra chain link in there, it has all the stuff I would need for a ride right in this bag here. So you can tell it's a decently small bag, it's not very big. And in the case of the Poseidon Redwood, I have an extra water bottle cage mount just kind of chilling up here. So I thought, what can I use that for? How can I make this work for my advantage? And so I went, hey, this little bracket works. It's a very small bracket with long slots on it, so you can slide it back and forth. And then it just has a small bag, which is weather resistant. And you can put that on there and have a nice little storage for all your stuff, and it's out of the way of everything. So for me, this worked really well. It mounts really great on the bike, and it stores everything, it doesn't get in the way, and it's just there if I need it. And if I was to need something out of there, it's as simple as taking this strap off, unrolling the bag, and I can get to whatever I need to get to, and then just stick it back when I'm done. So it works very well. It's really small, really compact, and it fits in this tight little front triangle of the frame where stuff doesn't seem to fit very good. It took me a little while to find something that fit in this spot, utilize those mounting bolts, and be able to function the way I wanted it to function. So that works great. And going along with this little style bag, of course you have a frame bag that has Velcro straps that can mount to your frame just like a handlebar bag will. Just mount somewhere in your frame. Those work really great as well, and that was going to be my second option. If I couldn't find something that worked here, I was going to go for a long frame bag that goes underneath the top tube, but I found something that worked for me. That just works great to store a bunch of stuff under the top tube of your bike. So another option that I didn't realize existed until very recently is actually Fidlock. So I've talked about Fidlock before. Of course, you've seen their water bottle here and their water bottle mounting system, and I installed that on our wife's bike. If you haven't seen it, check out the video. I'll have a link to it. But really cool product. It just snaps right onto your mounts just like that, and it's nice and secure on there, and it's not going to fall off, and it works really good. And then you take it off, and all you got is the mount there. That's it. Super clean looking. And so when Fidlock sent me out the water bottle, they also sent me out a couple of bags that I could try and see what I thought of them. So they sent me out both their medium bag right here and their large bag right here. And so going along with trying to fit something on my frame right here, I first tried this bag here. The problem is, for where I want to put this, the shape is kind of backwards. So right there, it would work great if it was this way, but you know, that's just how it is. So I couldn't really fit it right there where I wanted to put it, so I had to figure something else out. So of course at the time I didn't have two water bottles, so I kind of mounted it down where the second bottle cage would go, right down here, and it worked good. These guys have a ton of space inside of them. First off, I'll say that. I mean, tons of space. I fit everything that's in here, so all my essentials. So this had a 27.5 tube, 2 CO2 cartridges, a set of tire levers, an extra chain link, as well as a small multi-tool, all in just the medium bag, which is pretty crazy. And some nice things with this bag is it does have a little hook inside of here, just right there, so you can hook your keys inside of there, so it keeps your keys from falling to the bottom of the bag if you want to use that. It also has a nice little mesh pocket inside of there right here, so you can stick, again, like I kind of do my bar bag, I stick my keys in there, and that keeps them nice and secure, keeps them from rolling around everywhere. And a nice little bonus similar to my bar bag, if you unzip this little side pocket here, inside of here there is a shoulder strap right there, and it just coils right up in there. When you're all set, it's got the nice little Fidlock mount on there. You pull out of the other side right here, you find your other half of your little Fidlock mount, and these two guys just clip together just like Fidlock will. And now you can carry that bag with you wherever you want to go. So this bag was really neat, and I wanted to still utilize it on my bike because I knew this kind of storage, especially out of the large bag here, this is a ridiculous amount of storage. I can't imagine how much stuff you could fit in this bag. And this one has the same features as the other one. Same mesh pocket on the side, has the key hook, and they even have, I forgot about this pocket, they even have a little pocket on the outside, so you can shove stuff in that pocket on the outside there, and a pocket on the outside of here that has a little flap that covers it, so you can put all sorts of stuff in here. So I still wanted to utilize these on these bikes, because for me, there are times when I want to carry this much stuff. I just don't have a place to efficiently put it, but it's not something I want mounted on my bike all the time. So I went, okay, how can I still use these guys? And that's when I decided to utilize the frame mounts on the Poseidon Redwood right here. So I have a mount on each side of my fork, and they're just the Fidlock mounts. So riding around normally, that's all you see. It's a little black mount here, and that's it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that's super sticking off the bike or anything. It sticks out a little farther than the original bolts, but not much at all. Still well within your handlebars. Not going to cause you to go off balance. Not going to cause it to catch on anything. And it worked really good. It looks really good when you're not there. And then when the time comes you need to use your bags here, you can just get your bag. You can just grab your bag, click it right on there, and you have your bag attached to the fork of your bike, ready to go. And then you can unzip, grab what you need, zip it back up. Once you're done, just like that. Still where this bag is, it still doesn't clear. It's still within the handlebars of this bike. It's not gonna have any issues. If your handlebars can fit, this can fit. So that's really nice there. It's not it's very lightweight bag. It doesn't get in the way. It doesn't have a ton of weight. Obviously you can put a lot of stuff in here, which up on the fork may make a little bit of a difference, but realistically, this is a super clean design. This is a super clean setup in my opinion. Where if I was to go like bike packing or go on a longer ride and I just wanted extra storage for snacks or some extra water or anything along those lines, I can snap this bag on, be set to go. When I get to the place I'm going, super simple as just pulling that guy off. I can pull out the strap in there and be set to go to my campsite. And then when I'm ready to start riding again, clips right back on there. And along with that, you got your cool bags, right? What if you want an extra water bottle? You just get a Fidlock water bottle and that clips right on there too, and you can carry 2 extra water bottles on there for a grand total of 4 on this bike if you really needed some extra water. It gives you the versatility to put whatever Fidlock product you want on the fork, and gives you that storage ability to either put a medium bag, a large bag, or a water bottle on there and give you that option. So really cool product if you're looking for a removable storage that's super secure, that you don't want to use all the time, but you want it to be versatile. Check out some of Fidlock's products. I'm going to have a link down in the description below. Thanks to Fidlock for sending out this product. Let's move on to our next option here. So the next we're going to talk about is going to be a rack on the back of your bike. Now I don't have one on the gravel bike, however my wife runs one on her Ariel all the time and she loves it. I don't have one on here, and I'll talk about in a little bit about why I don't have a rack on here. So racks work very good, and the reason for that is you can put a lot of weight on the back of those and it doesn't really affect the handling of your bike that much. As it would if you mount it on the fork of the bike. It's going to affect your steering if you mount it up on the front. Versus on the rear, you're not steering, it's just going to be extra added weight, is what it's mostly going to be. Now, if you side load it and you load one side heavier than the other, yeah, it can affect the bike kind of leaning side to side and affect your balance a little bit. But if you load it properly, the back of your bike really doesn't affect the handling of the bike that much. So they have tons of options out there for a rack. So obviously you have your basic rack on there. You can bungee cord stuff to the top. That works. They're super basic, pretty inexpensive. Everybody has bungee cords laying around, so you can make that happen. You want a second option, you can get something like this. This little bag here actually mounts on the top of your rack, right up on the top. And this has a ton of storage. So obviously you have the kind of bungee net on the top, so you can still stick something on the top and bungee cord it down if you wanted to. But then you unzip it and there is, wow, that's really bright on camera, but there is tons of storage inside of here. So obviously you have this huge capacity here. You have a whole mesh portion at the top with the key hooks. If you want to put your keys in there, you hook them there. You want to put your card or something a little more, you want to keep a little more protected and separate from everything down here, you can stick something there. And this guy works really good. It's also very soft, so if you were to catch it or smash it down, it would just smush. And then it comes right back because it has a nice structure to it. And this guy works really good because it just mounts on the top of your rack. Works as every type of rack. And they're relatively affordable too. Just got something super basic like this. Now, you want to use your rack to carry more stuff. Obviously, this carries a decent bit, but you want to carry more stuff on your rack. If you want to carry more stuff on your rack, you get something similar to this guy right here. So this guy is a pannier is what this is called. And they make all sorts of different styles of them. So these guys, as you can tell, they have 2 coated hooks up here. These hook on the side of your rack, and then this bungee cord here actually goes down and bungee cords to the bottom. And this is what actually keeps it secure on the rack. This will actually pull it into the rack and keep it up nice and solid against your bike. So these guys work really good at carrying a ton of storage. So like I said, this guy has a little clip here so it can fold up. You just unclip that guy, and like I said, these guys have a ton of storage. This is like your reusable shopping bag size right here. So you can use that, store whatever, stick whatever stuff you want. As you can tell, that guy's deep. It's bigger than my head. So this thing's pretty big. So you can carry all sorts of stuff in here, and you can carry all sorts of weight. For instance, my wife, when she used to ride her bike to work, she carried her U-lock in here, her cable lock was in here, and she also carried like a change of clothes. I think her backpack went in here. She carried all sorts of stuff all in this bag, and it carried it all for her. And then when she was going inside, she could just pull the handles up just like that, carry it inside. When she went inside, she could just fold it up for the day. When she was done, she could unfold it, throw her stuff back in, clip it right back on her bike, and be set to go. So it works really good. And they have all sorts of stuff. Some of them are weatherproof, have a cover over them. They make all sorts of different options here, all sorts of different sizes. You can do just one on the side if you want. You can get a set and do one on each side if you want to carry more. And they work great. And you can use these guys in conjunction with this guy. You can use these on the side and then strap this guy on the top, and you have so much storage on the back of your bike. That's ridiculous. So racks, sounds great, right? You can carry all sorts of stuff, all sorts of weight. They work really cool, and they look kind of cool too, right? So the problem I have with racks, and why I don't have one, why I'm not planning on putting one on the gravel bike, is because they kind of get caught in stuff. A rack is going to stick out farther than your rear frame and your rear triangle on the bike. So mine actually has two mounts, so you can either mount the rear leg right here, or you can mount the rear leg here, and then the front's gonna mount right up onto this bolt here. So as you can tell, pretty much right here, if it sticks out, especially the disc brake versions, it stick out a little farther to clear the disc brake caliper. If you get one of those, it's gonna stick out. It's gonna actually it'll probably be about in line with the derailleur here, and it'll stick out farther than anything on that side. So with that being the case, it's likely to get caught on stuff. I take this bike and I go adventures on this bike. This bike goes places where I don't need a rack most of the time, and if I was to put one on there, it's not like I'd want to take it on and off, and it would probably get caught on something and just be more of a pain than it is helpful. Versus my wife's Ariel, that's pretty much a city bike. It's a hybrid bike. It's made to ride on the city. It's made to run errands, made to travel to and from work. So it works really good for that situation. It's not going to see situations where that rack's going to get caught on something or anything along those lines. And it works good for its purpose of carrying tons of weight, and it works really great for that. So racks have pluses and minuses. In my opinion, it's a lot easier to find a use of mounting bolts on your frame or your fork to actually mount stuff. Mount stuff on your frame and fork. If you need more, move on to the rack. That's why I have my little salsa bag here, why I have my fidlock cages on my fork, why I utilize what's on the frame before I actually stick a rack on the bike. So lots of different options out there for carrying your stuff. Let's close off this video now. So as you can tell from this video, there are all sorts of options for carrying stuff on your bikes. Is one better than the other? It's really going to depend on you as a rider and what you're looking to carry, where you're looking to adventure to, where you're looking to ride. There's all sorts of options out there that are just going to apply in different situations. So if I could say from my experience, what I've seen most people run, it's going to be they're going to run a saddlebag. That's kind of the bare minimum. It just carries your essentials there, or some small bag like the salsa bag here that allows you to carry those basic essentials on your bike ride, on your bike all the time. Those are going to be your basic ones. If you need more than that, that's when the possibilities kind of go endless. You can stick a rack on your bike, carry a whole bunch of weight, whole bunch of stuff you need to do that. You can carry a small frame bag if you need to do that. You can carry a handlebar bag, or you can check out one of these sick fidlock bags so you can have that removable storage anytime you need it. You can stick them on, anytime you don't. You take them off and they look super clean on your bike. You can throw a fidlock water bottle on there if you want. You can do all sorts of different options out there for those fidlocks. So you have all sorts of different options. Do they all work? They're all going to work great. It's just going to depend what you need, what you're doing, how much you're carrying, and ultimately what your adventure you're going on is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.